So what would you say the diet and lifestyle habits are of those that seem to be perpetually lean?
You know what stands out the most, man, is like, and I surveyed a lot of people on this. I did a video about it. Probably the number one thing of people that are perpetually lean is they're almost these like fidgeter type, mildly anxious people. Like, you ever meet those people that are just always moving, like not just because they're forcing themselves to move, but they're always kind of doing something, right? And I think there's almost a phenotype there. There's almost maybe something we haven't really cut through on and found what it is. But these are kind of, you look at these people and like people that are always lean, whether they are fitness oriented lean or just lean, right? We all encounter those people that they're just lean. They're not skinny. They have some muscle, but they're not also obsessed with working out. And they're always doing something and they almost can't sit still. And when you look at the literature and you find like how powerful non-exercise activity thermogenesis is and how powerful actually literal fidgeting is, even for just a thermic effect, it would make sense. And it's like, I mean, how many people do you know? I mean, how many overweight people do you know that have been like overweight their whole life that are necessarily like super fidgety people? But when you think of a fidgety person, it's like you kind of think of this like wiry, kind of thin, kind of
sinewy.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Is this what is referred to sometimes as NEAT, the acronym NEAT?
Yeah, non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
And what do you think the mechanism is there? Do you think it's purely that NEAT just burns a lot of calories, like fidgeting burns calories?
I think there's a lot of calorie burning that's happening underneath the surface, right? That we don't really think about all the time. There's also a thermic effect, simply by moving all the time. There's also a neurological effect, and there's also a muscle stimulation effect, right? So like even fidgeting, right? Like think about it. Yeah, you're physically moving. You're also actually contracting muscle, which we know from a lot of like the glucose literature that contracting a muscle can help translocate GLUT4 and bring that glucose in. So simply by moving more, like so if I'm just doing this, I can't remember the studies right offhand. I don't like keep them all collated in my head, but I did some videos on this, like talking about like what is like a main thing that really drives a lot of non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And I can't remember the exact figure, but I mean, fidgeting was a monumental amount. It wasn't anything to sneeze at. Like putting people in metabolic wards for short periods of time and actually monitoring their fidgeting. And it was nothing to sneeze at. We're talking dozens of calories more in an hour just by people that were like doing things like this.
Wow. So what's the, if you had to reverse engineer it, like what would be the actionable then takeaway? I mean, I feel like fidgeting is a largely subconscious behavior, right?
You know what I've kind of coached people on myself is for guys. I joke, I'm like, be the guy your husband or be the guy your wife wants you to be. And I joke about that because it's like, okay, with my wife, she's like, hey, can you help the dishes? So it's kind of a joke, right? But you have to almost play it up and gamify it in a way. So I really do consciously think about those things. I'm like, oh, there's dishes in the sink. I'm going to do them, right? Okay, I consciously think about there's a parking spot close to the door or there's a parking spot back there. It takes me, 1 more minute to walk that and maybe I burn an extra 30 calories. And it's not that I'm sitting there obsessing about the calories, but it's eventually you do form a habit with it. Or it's like, hey, you see your kid's toy on the ground. Like, yeah, your kids should pick up their toys. But also if you want to walk 20 feet over there, pick up the toy, just do it. Like, don't be mentally lazy. Stop framing it about being physically lazy and make it more about mentally lazy. Because a lot of times you do have the energy to actually go pick up that towel that's on the ground. You're intellectually being lazy because you don't want to break your pattern of thought to go pick it up. It's not that you physically can't go pick it up. So it's like breaking this intellectual laziness. Next thing you know, I mean, this could literally amount to like 200, 300 calories per day doing all these little things. That's crazy. That's a lot.
Wow. And that could be the difference, right? Like between a energy balance and a calorie deficit.
For sure. Well, think about 200 calories a day adds up to over the course of a week, right? I mean, you're looking at, 1,400 calories. That's almost a half a pound.
Wow. Half a pound of fat.
Just by picking up some stuff off the ground.
Damn. That's super empowering. Yeah. Parking further from the entrance of the supermarket. I mean, that's super effective. That can be super effective. And then just household chores. I mean, these are non-exercise activities, doing the dishes, chasing your kids around the house, playing with your cat. That's super empowering. Okay, so we've got fidgeting and related non-exercise physical activities. What comes next?
Yeah, I wrote them down because
love it.
This video crushed. I mean, and clearly it was the video that I did about it. It was like, hey, I surveyed a bunch of people that were not fitness people that would just casually, I call them casual worker outers, people that just, they casually work out, but they're also people that are fit, and not fit by maybe bodybuilding standards or anything, but just fit by like they're in shape, right? And one of the other ones is the kind of people that forget to eat a lot. And I'm not saying like deliberate intermittent fasting or anything like that. That is a very conscious thing. But these are the kind of people, like a lot of times women, you find that like, oh my gosh, like they get so busy in their day, like stay-at-home moms and things like that. They're like, oh my gosh, like I got so much going on, I forgot to eat. But one time is one thing. 2 times is another thing. But when you start seeing that this is like just the way that they operate, so much to the point that they have this fractal eating pattern that's just all over the place, and it's not regimented with intermittent fasting where I break my fast at 12 p.m. or something like that. It's like, hey, no, sometimes I eat breakfast, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I eat lunch, sometimes I don't. And it's all over the place. Sometimes my lunch isn't until 2 p.m. There's just like total randomness to their eating. And it's not a big thing if they forget to eat. And by very nature, they probably have these like random periods of deficits and possibly even random periods of surpluses. Because I've also noticed with skinny people all the time is that a lot of times when you put food in front of them, like sometimes they'll eat very little, but also times they'll eat a huge amount. And you're like, how did you do that? And they're like, I don't know, I just have a fast metabolism. Well, no, maybe it's also because you haven't eaten in the last like 19 hours and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah. So, I mean, not eating when you're not hungry. Like if you're hungry, eat. But I think a lot of people kind of eat because it's just regimented into their daily routine.
Yeah, it's dopaminergic. I mean, it's just a hit, right?
Yeah. That is solid advice. Hey, if you like that video, you need to check out this one here, and I'll see you there.